Hello, my name is Sekit. We are playing Fear Not the Night. And last time, we put all this Britannia stuff over here together. We'll be going back to that. But the first thing that I want to do today is count out 8 oak logs, or really any log. Combine them with some of this gold leaf that we got a couple episodes ago from those leaf blocks we converted with the golden fiber. You need those for the Ritual of the Forest, which this is the wrong. Here we go. The Ritual of the Forest. Here we go. So, we flip through here. We can see the way this is all supposed to go. So we've got our pedestals. We're gonna need 16 of this gold powder, which you place down just like redstone dust. You'll place it in this pattern every single time that you use it, and most of the recipes utilize a growing oak tree. So we'll need to grow it. What we want to make first, now ore is kind of the power of the mod, like mana and botany or source and ars nouveau or what have you. Each chunk has a certain amount of it. Some have more than others. Those yellow flowers over there, those are aura blooms. Those are Britannia flowers, but those are aura blooms. Those indicate a higher than normal concentration of aura. We can use the aura for various things, and we can replace it with various things. The first one we have access to are these ancient saplings. So we will use those. And the way they work, I always forget. Okay, sugarcane and the oak, right? There we go. And then I think it's seed leaf dandelion. There we go. Anyway, I gotta get some bone meal, but this is what we'll be using. Okay, now you can just wait for the tree to grow too. Although, if you do that, the item will just drop in the world, and if you don't have something to pick it up with, it may despawn. But you get a, pretty nice animation, and you get your item, whatever it is. In this case, we got an ancient sapling. Now, the way these things work is the leaves are full of aura, and as aura needs to be replenished in the area, because we're draining it, the leaves will decay, and it's quite obvious. Don't have to keep too close an eye on if you got one of these. Now, the next thing we're gonna want to do is make the tokens, at least the first 4. They're upgraded versions of these, but we'll need them all. So, starting with the token of joy, the main thing here that, this is any flower. It doesn't have to be botany or whatever. Anything with the flower tag should work. The bottled sunlight. Now, we're going to need some glass bottles. And with some glass bottles and some planks, those are pork chops, we can make bottle and cork. That's where we get our various bottles of, I don't know. That's the one thing I've never understood about the mod, is the bottled sunshine, which of course we can get at night. Now I'll have to run into the nether. Now we can do the same thing, and we'll get bottled ghosts. I believe there's an end version. Hello? Can I go home? There we go. I think they changed the thickness of the nether portals. I don't think that's just me. Anyway, I'm gonna get the rest of the stuff together. Like, if ore is so common, you can just pick it up in a normal glass bottle by waving it around. Like, it seems like, I don't know. It's a great mod. I always use this mod in my own packs. So, don't get me wrong. It's just that one mechanic I've never understood, I guess, the lore for it. Okay, do we have this right? I believe so. We'll grow this one. And that's just how the Ritual of the Forest goes. You've seen it once. You've seen it a million times. So only show it again for anything that might be actually interesting. The fear token is going to be easy enough. We have all this stuff. The anger token, again, we have access to all of this stuff. The sorrow is going to require a gas tier, which we can make. They're very expensive, but we can make them in our imbuement chamber. Alright, why the imbuement chamber and not the enchanting apparatus like the thermal drops? I don't know. So this will take a while. I'm going to make the other tokens. I forgot to mention, it doesn't matter which pedestal or which stand you start on when you're doing the recipe. It can be any of the 8, but you do have to keep the ingredients in the correct relative. So it's all, no matter where you start, you'll have to go flower, torch, sunlight, space, and so on. So there's that. Alright, that gas tier is finished cooking. We're going to make the last token. Oh, and as we've been using, let's see if we can find any. Can't really see any yet. That have started to decay. Soon enough. Another thing we need the Ritual of the Forest for, and one of our precious spider eyes, is an environmental eye. That is the first of 2 tiers of little gear. They go into our, what, baubles, curios? I think it's curios now. And this up here. So we're going to go ahead and make it. Oh, there it is. Suddenly I see. We'll go right on a slot. Now we've got that, we can see how much aura is around. I'll bet you that's also what makes this bar appear. I thought, like, that might have been JI, but this, we could see, like, some of these are still full and ready to go. Some of these are somewhat depleted. We will typically see aura right at the middle, but if we go over here, like I mentioned before with these aura blooms, we'll see this area is naturally much higher. So, one thing you can do is breed animals where it's high and get a special item. We'll be doing some of that. But for now, we need to move on. We got at least one more Ritual of the Forest to do. We've got to make a natural altar, and we'll finally use one of our tokens as a crafting ingredient for it. So I'll set that up and grab it. One natural altar. Now this thing is the center of a multi-block, and we can once again come into our let's see, a natural altar. Perfect. Come into our manual, use the visualization thing, and start putting it together. Now the special ingredient here, we're going to need 8 of these golden stone bricks. To make those, you just take stone bricks and some of this brilliant fiber that we made at the beginning of last episode, and there you have it, and there it is. One more block. There we go. Very nice. Now you can see this thing has, it's going to suck in aura from the area to fill up the altar's buffer. That's going to probably use at least some of these leaves all the way. We'll start to see them turn brown, disappearing. There's a number of things we can make with the altar. First thing we need is a little bit of infused iron. You just pop an iron ingot on there, and then you'll get it. We want the infused iron and 2 tokens to make an offering table, which is the center to yet another multi-block. Now we can, again, come in here and use our little use our little visualizer. Now you'll see poppies all around. It doesn't have to be poppies. They don't have to be all the same flower. It can be any flower. I think we're going to use roses because we have a rose bush that we can just dupe with some bone meal. Okay, I learned something today. The two tall flowers don't work with this. They have to be the one tall flower. Alright, now I got a bunch of rose bushes. Okay, one more flower. There we go. We can get all kinds of things with this. What we want, first of all, though, is some sky metal. We can get it, okay, so we can get it with some tainted gold. The spirits of calling are also a bit expensive, and we make tainted gold in our natural altar over here, just like we did the iron. Alright, we'll make up some of that gold, some more infused iron. It used to be that you had to make the tainted gold in the nether. It does not seem like that is the case anymore, and I think it hasn't been for some time. I'm sure we've done this in the overworld before. The gold takes, I think, about twice as much aura as the iron, so we'll have to keep an eye on our tree. If you drain all the aura out of the chunk, it can be bad. Trees aren't the only way to get aura to generate. This canopy diminisher does that, and what it does is when an oak tree is going to grow into a big oak tree, this thing will stop it from doing that. You'll get a normal-sized oak tree, and you'll get a puff of aura out into the air. And I'm putting it over here because there's something else that I'd like to put over here. But first, we're going to go ahead and make some of these spirits of calling. We're going to need that. And you can really see the leaves decaying now. These won't stay brown. They'll disappear relatively quickly. Now, every operation with the offering table is going to take a spirit of calling. I don't have a ton of gold, so we'll just do 5, but you don't have to do it one at a time. You just put the ingredient, whatever it is, into the offering bowl. You know, throw the on the ground, the spirit of calling, and then in some versions your items will appear on the ground. In some, they will drop from the sky. We're missing a little bit. In this case, we made some ingots of the skies, and this is pretty good stuff. It's equivalent to diamond in protection. It will repair automatically if you have like an aura cache, which is like the mana tablet except for aura instead of mana. But we're going to be using it to craft up a couple of things. But first, because there's always a but first, we have to make some infused rock to craft another block with. Now what I want to make is a shooting mark. This will be able to, we'll be able to set up something to automate with this too, but we can use it manually for now. What you do is it's got a little target on it that moves around from one side to another. And every time you shoot it, you get, do I have any blocks on me? Not really. Grab this. Every time you shoot it, you get a puff of aura in the air. So we can take our bow here, and you can see the gauge is going to slowly go up. Now we can only go up so high with this, but there is another block we could place under it, or any other of these aura generating blocks, that would allow it to break that limit and would start creating some very beneficial effects in the immediate area. Now we're just gonna juice it up a little bit so that the aura where our livestock is higher than normal. So you can see the aura that we're working with here. What we can do now is breed these animals, and because of the high concentration of aura, they will drop a special item called the Spirit of Birthing. And we're going to get a few more. So we're going to make... Oh, we need one more thing. We need one of the tier 2 tokens. Alright. Boom. And a boom. Get our lightning. See if we can see it falling. I think they fall in this. I don't see anything falling. I do see something on the ground. So it looks like they just appear in the ground in this. That's fine. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make an altar of birthing. And it was either the first or second episode where we were testing this in the creative world. I'm going to have to go get a ton more wheat. I'm probably going to rob some of these villages. Now for the multi-block, we're actually going to need some planks from this tree. But we can just take a little bit of the bark off the back. 4 is all we need. And the other thing we're going to need are some infused bricks, which you make just like you would expect. So we'll just use this as kind of a center block here. And we'll come on in here and hit the visualize. Oh. There we go. And I'll just put it together. Alright. Now, if you want to see everything the altar of birthing can do, you can just go into JI and see. We got, all kinds of things we can do now. We'll want to build a structure for this, and we're going to want another tablet of, what do they call? Containment. That's it. Tablet of containment. Because we are going to want, once we summon the mobs that we want to summon, we're going to want to put them in jars. Now, if you don't want to scroll through the whole list, you can just go into JI and look at the spawn egg recipe. We ought to make a skeleton horse one. We can make a wither skeleton, a little bit of obsidian and some bone. Alright, we got a bunch of stuff. We got our ritual brazier. We can put the tablet of containment right on there, and then we'll right click it when we're ready for it to activate. Then we'll need, for a skeleton, let's say, we'll need a spirit of birthing, bone, and an arrow. There they go. We're going to left click this so it'll start. Come on, buddy. There you go. He's on fire. But that's okay. He'll be alright in there. Might even be a light source. Now, there's a weird little guy from Ars Nouveau that, for the price of source, will give you mob drops from mobs that are in the area. Hostile, passive, whatever. It also works with mobs in these containment jars. So we're going to be jarring up a bunch of mobs from mods. And then we're going to make that little guy and get him a source set up and probably set up a whirly sprig. But all that's going to have to wait until next time. We're starting to go a little long. Listen, thanks so much for watching. We will see you then. Bye-bye.